before I started following a strict carnivore diet, I thought I had no issues. You see, I knew I had high blood pressure, and I used to use blood pressure drugs, but with the low carb and keto diet, I had managed to push that down a bit. And on the carnivore diet, it went further down to normal, whatever that is, at least lower than it had been. So I dropped the blood pressure meds, and I also dropped the acid reflux meds that I had been taking for years. I also dropped this aspirin or whatever it's called to fight the blood clotting. Mm-hmm. So I went off in about 6 to 9 months. I went off 3 drugs. I put my pride into making the food from scratch. I tried to make everything. I even bought pigs and lambs in whole and deboned them myself, because I'm also a butcher, and I use the bones for broth. And instead of buying some powder to make broth of. But I was also sometimes criticized for that, because what I made from scratch didn't have a label on it that said exactly what was in it. Like, for an example, I wanted for those people who had some issues eating, whether that was they were just very sick and old, or they had trouble swallowing, or they had trouble with the digestion, then the protocol is usually to give them nutrition drinks. So I made drink from skyr. You know, skyr is the Icelandic, it's actually a cheese, but it's like a yogurt, but it's high in protein and low in fat. So I make a boost out of it. I put in some berries or fruits and some cream, sometimes dairy cream, sometimes coconut cream, and put it in the mixer, and they drink that. And it's health food. It's just natural stuff, but it had no label. So I had to buy something called Nutri Drink. That is basically, half of it is sugar, and the other half of it is something synthetic, artificial flavoring and stuff like that. Nothing was actually a food, but I was ordered to buy that instead of making a boost from skyr and cream and fruits. Everything is allowed, because people are always asking, am I allowed to eat this? Can I eat this or that? And I see a lot of this in the keto group, and I don't like that approach. If you are someone like me, I'm allowed to eat anything I like. I just choose not to. And I also choose to not trouble people when they invite me to their house and they put something on the table and I say, no, I don't eat a tomato or a potato or whatever, you know. But this happens only a few times a year, so it's not really troubling me. But I realized that in my group, people don't really ask if they are allowed to eat this or that anymore. They just kind of ask, what happens if you eat this? Does it trouble you a lot? And I always say that if I eat this way because it makes me feel the best I've ever felt. I'm 52 and I feel much better now than when I was 32 or even 22.